This is one of your classmates.
My name is Gurjot, and I'm a junior majoring in BS.
You hold it closer, man. Hold it.
I'm majoring in BS Economics, and I'm from India, and this is my third year at Penn State, and I'm also looking to go to the grad school for economics.
You are Sikh. Sikh.
Yeah.
We say Sikh, but Sikh.
That is how you pronounce
How do you
it.
pronounce this?
I pronounce it as Sikh,
Sikh.
that KH sound at the end.
Sikh, yeah. And you know that by your head covering.
Yeah, the turban.
Do you guys say, how do you say that? How do you say it? Like in
The name of
you
the
just say
religion?
yeah. How do you say? Yeah, what's the name? And
Okay, so it's called a pug.
do you gotta hold that closer?
Yeah, so it's called a pug. Like people have various versions of it
Uh-huh.
to call it. So some people call it dastar, or some people call it pug,
Mm-hmm.
and that's basically the Hindi and Punjabi words for turban.
And so in English we say turban.
Yeah.
So I used to be the faculty advisor to the Sikhs student organization here
Yeah,
on
there is-
campus.
there is, yes.
Yeah, for a number of years. And really, in a way, for me, religiously speaking, if I could choose a religion to be, I was baptized as a Christian, born into a Christian family. I converted at some point a number of years ago to Islam, but it was an accident. Like I didn't really know I was converting to Islam, but I did, and I'm like, all right, cool, man. I'll be Muslim too. But if I could choose, in my mind, I'd probably be Jewish because I'm most connected to the people of the book, right? There's something in Judaism that just pulls my mind in, right? But philosophically speaking, I would follow Sikhism. So can you say a few words about about the basic tenets?
All right, so if you trace the history of this religion, people call it a religion, but in actuality, it is more of a philosophy, and it is more about spiritual practice that you need to do on your own, on a daily purpose. So there are two aspects to this attire, the headgear and everything, and there is also a set of ideology that is behind it. So if you talk about Sikhism, it comprises basically of three elements: your soul, which is your ego also, you can say, the guru, or the person who shows you the path, and basically it's a monotheistic religion, so it believes in the shapeless and formless God, kind of similar to Islam, and the supernatural, the God. So it basically emphasizes...
And the God is a singular God.
Yeah, it's a singular God, and it's not basically that you need to fear that God or something of that sort. That is the main difference between Sikhism and some other religions, that there is no sense of fear instilled in you that you need to be afraid of this power or something of that sort. The thing is that you need to nurture love for that person, and moreover, God is the set of principles, the highest set of principles by which you want to live your life. So it basically means that you eventually, by a person who can show you the path, or it can be anything, not only a person, but any philosophy or anything, you know the nature of your ego, and you know your nature and why you are not peaceful with yourselves, and eventually you attain the highest possible form of yourself in this lifetime. So that is the essential ideology behind Sikhism, which was propounded by the first guru. So there's a culture of gurus. Gurus means teacher in Sikhism, and so the first guru started this thing in 1400s, this ideology. And eventually, by the time of 10th Guru, when India was under Mughal invasion, so I don't know how many of you know about the Mughals, the dynasty.
Nobody does, basically.
Yeah, so basically...
yeah.
Mughals
No, don't
were-
talk about it. We don't want, it's too much.
Yeah, so then eventually this philosophical people who were related to this ideology kind of turned into warriors who were there back in India.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually this became a warrior class. Turban was a unification symbol, you can say, because in those times in India there was stratification in the society, because of which people were looked down upon. People who did inferior jobs or menial jobs, like you can say, who were working, like cleaning the drains or something of that sort. So as the need arose, people volunteered to join this militia who would be fighting those. And
Fighting for equality.
yeah, fighting
Dude,
for equality.
Can you go, Leah, can you go to the next slide? So listen, so you said a couple things here, right? One is that you find God here,
Yes.
not in temples, not among the priest class,
Exactly,
not
yes.
rituals, it's here. In the goal, which is really in so many ways the goal of all religions, but definitely in Sikhism it's really key, is to destroy your ego. Because the only way to get to God is to destroy your own ego. And the ego is the part of us that thinks like many of you are here in school because you want to get degrees and you want to make money and you want to elevate yourselves and you want to set yourself out from other people and so on. And in Sikhism, it's like, no, don't pursue that. That's not the godly path. The godly path is when you let go of all those things and you become one with the Creator. And as you become one with the Creator, you can only do that if your ego is really weak.
Yeah,
So-
and to be specific, it doesn't mean that you need to, give up on all things and be a hermit and be sitting on the top of the mountain. It just means that when you perform your actions in the daily life, just be detached with the outcome. And if you're detached with the outcome, you can actually attain peace within yourself. That is how, what it means. And it also says that through your actions and the nature of your actions, it will be decided whether you are close to God or whether you are far from
Yeah.
Him. So that is the
Yeah.
thing.
And apart from Him doesn't mean in some kind of hell.
Yeah.
Which is really
basically
not.
it means that you will keep. So it also believes in the concept of reincarnation, and getting another birth is kind of seen as a path of disturbance, because the more you are in this world, the more you are bound to get disturbed. And so somebody who is emancipated by the cycle of birth and death, that is considered to be the highest attainment in this religion. So if you are good in your actions, if you understand the nature of your actions,
Yeah.
you can eventually get emancipated. That is what it believes.
Which is for people with a singular God and this concept of heaven, that's the same idea as being in heaven.
Yeah.
Look, I want to add a couple of things. So here, there are a few things in Sikh philosophy that if you really, I have this idea that most people, if they really understood this, I mean, this is just an awesome philosophy that most people have, but dude, the key is truthful and honest living. That's
That one point, don't
Yeah.
eat meat. That is, I think, that is why I was kind of, trying to differentiate between
Yeah.
two factions which
Yeah,
exist
yeah, yeah.
currently in Sikhism. Don't eat meat is just kind of a tenet added by people over the ages as this philosophy began. Because again, when you say don't do this or don't do that,
Yeah.
you're not actually understanding something. You're
Yeah.
kind of imposing. And that is the reason why this religion is different, because it doesn't want to impose anything on you, and it wants you to understand on your own that what you are and what you are up to.
Yeah, I shouldn't have written it that way because that really isn't it. Because it's not about not eating meat. It's that if you do eat, it's like, look, all life is equal. The ant and the bug and the mosquito is equal to me. All life is equal. In the Judeo-Christian concept of life, there's the God created humans as the highest form of life on earth. And so humans are up here and everything else is down here. And there's this idea that many people have about humans have kind of dominion over other life. But Sikhs don't have that. For Sikhs, it's it's equality is the key. And so what you were saying about the actual emergence of Sikhism being it's about bringing about equality. And so in a class like this, it's really a very cool philosophy. And being kind, dude. It's all about being kind.
Yeah, so it's said basically that the day you start looking in everybody that divine power, irrespective of the fact that howsoever bad that person is or howsoever malice that person has in his or her head, but you still look at that person as the byproduct of the supernatural or the divine, you can say that day you actually understood his true nature.
Dude.
And that day you actually understood that what loving actually means, because you can achieve the best form of yourself only if you understand the nature of love.
Yeah, dude, that's so awesome, man. It's just, this is Mr. Rishi. Hey, by the way, I put my kata on today, by the way.
Yeah, so basically the turban, the kada, and some Sikhs also keep a small sword or a dagger kind of thing with them. Those things are a symbol of baptism. So when the militia was formed, that was kind of unification symbol for all the people who joined the militia. And it's nothing to do with the philosophy. So if I'm wearing the turban and this thing, it's because my family has already been following this tradition since ages. And so it's more of the thing that I kept up my family tradition instead of, it's not something that you cannot be a Sikh if you don't wear this. You can be a Sikh if you follow that philosophy.
Yeah, anybody can be a Sikh.
Yeah.
Dude, so you don't have to be a turban, or you don't have to wear a turban. When's the last time you cut your hair?
What?
When's the last time you cut your hair?
Oh, yeah. So also, this was also one of the things that Sikhs don't cut hair, like the ones who actually follow that tradition. So as soon as the kid is born, they let the hair grow in whatever way it grows. Yeah.
However it grows. So is your hair really long then? Have you cut your hair?
No, never.
Never?
No.
So how long is it?
It's like till here.
That's all?
Yeah, because the hair also falls. So it's
It
like
falls,
a natural process.
Okay, but some dudes have hair like, whoa, like way.
That depends from person to person. Like.
Yeah, got you.
Yeah.
Huh.
And so like I have also never cut my beard or trimmed my mustache.
Never cut your beard or trim your mustache?
No.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, that is how it is.
Do you ever let anyone see your hair? Like, would you ever take your turban off in like a space like this?
It's basically my roommates know.
Yeah.
So
All right.
it basically is that when you're resting in your room or something of that sort. But when you go in public, you are supposed to cover your head.
Yeah.
And that is a thing,
Dude,
especially for males.
Yeah.
Females, it's nothing of that sort.
Yeah. Hey, can you go to the next slide, Leah? This was a shot when we were in New Delhi. This was us with our Afghan team. On the left is Mr. Rashidi, who you met last class, and we were at one of the Sikh temples. And like at this temple every day, they just feed thousands of people. Like, it's like, you help the poor, you help the needy. There are these massive kitchens, and it's just providing meals and meals and meals. It's really so awesome. Do you know about, like, the whirling dervishes, by the way?
About what?
Whirling dervishes?
No.
This is a spiritual, like a sect in Islam of, like, highly spiritualized people. These are the people that dance. They wear the big... I forget what the cap is called, but it's like, and they do these sema performances, but the cap represents like their tombstone, and they dance, and they spin, and one hand goes up to the heavens, and one hand goes down to the earth, because you're bringing God, like God is coming from the heavens and grounding you in the earth, and then they wear these long robes, and they spin really fast, and the robe flares out. And they're like spinning super fast. And then you go into like a trance state. And the head, the cap that people wear, represents their tombstone. Because the goal is to destroy the ego, just like with Sikhs. The goal is to destroy your ego so you connect with God. And then you spin yourself into a trance state because that's your way of meditating on the God. And it's awesome, man. It's very similar in a way. When I was in Istanbul,
it's also because we can say that as the lineage of the gurus or the human teachers ended, so the last teacher who was there in this religion, he kind of so emphasized on ending the human chain and starting the tradition of this one book in which all the compositions and the poems and the teachings of all the people of that time and from all the religions. It's not only the 10 people who were before him.
It's all.
It's all. Like the Muslim saints, the Hindu saints of that time, the small saints, the mystics, everyone's teachings was compiled into this one book. And that is the book every Sikh worships today. And in that book, like, there is no significance of this thing, but it's all about you, like how you feel in this world and why you are not at peace with yourself.
Dude.
So that is the thing.
Awesome, man. Thanks, bro. Yeah, I just felt like we had 15 minutes. It was just a bit of time. I just felt like it'd be really cool because people see you in class and they're wondering, like, what's this head wrap this guy's wearing?
Like, one more thing that I wanted to say, like, most of the people confuse
Sikhism with Islam. Yeah,
there's no problem in doing that, but the only thing is that defines two things. That firstly, you interpreted me wrong, and secondly, you have apprehensions about Islam. Both the things are wrong, right?
Yeah,
so it's better to talk about what is it, and rather than just being apprehensive about it.
All right, thanks, man.